Long before she walked barefoot through the shattered glass of Ghost, Demi Moore was simply Demetria, a girl with a restless mother, a missing father, and a suitcase that never stayed closed for long. By the time she was a teenager, she had lived in more than 30 homes, often fleeing under moonlight, sometimes with debt collectors only steps behind. At age 16, she dropped out of school, moved into an apartment with a rock musician 10 years her senior, and declared herself an adult. Her early days in Hollywood were nothing like the glossy magazines would later suggest. She posed for European covers, not because she wanted to, but because rent was due and the phone had been cut off again. In 1984, she joined the Brat Pack in St. Elmo's Fire, smiling through scenes while hiding vodka in her trailer. Her real breakthrough, though, was personal. She walked into a rehab clinic with her head high and came out with fire in her eyes. Clean, determined, dangerous. When Ghost premiered in 1990, she wasn't just the girl who cried pretty on screen. She was the girl who trained in pottery, who stayed up late with the script, who fought for the tears to feel real. Patrick Swayze said she had a look that could slice through lies. She didn't act grief. She became it. By 1995, Demi Moore was the highest paid actress in Hollywood. $12.5 million for striptease. People laughed. Then she showed up on set with bruises she gave herself, a script she had rewritten, and a fire pole routine that nearly broke her ribs. She didn't ask to be liked. She asked to be seen. Tabloids called her difficult, cold, controlling. She wore Armani suits to press junkets, shaved her head for G.I. Jane, did push-ups in the desert, ate raw eggs at dawn. Some days she was her own stunt woman. On others, she was a mother hiding from the paparazzi in the bathroom stall of a West Hollywood diner, whispering bedtime stories through a cell phone. Behind the scenes, she collected antique dolls with broken eyes. She claimed they reminded her of something she couldn't explain. Bruce Willis said once that she had a silence in her that could swallow a room. When they divorced, she smiled in public and cried on her agent's floor. Years passed. Her face stayed on magazine covers, but the scripts grew thinner, the roles flatter. She disappeared for a while. Rumors filled the gaps. Brazilian healers, tech billionaires, Himalayan retreats. She didn't deny anything. She didn't explain either. In 2012, she was rushed to a hospital after collapsing at a party in the Hollywood Hills. The headlines shouted overdose, breakdown, shame. But in private, friends said she had been trying to laugh, dancing to 80s music, quoting lines from About Last Night before she fell. When she returned, it wasn't on screen, but in ink. Her memoir, Inside Out, read like a whisper through a locked door. Childhood neglect, assault, addiction, betrayal. She wrote about waking up alone in a mansion, about watching her body disappear in the mirror, about love that came with shadows. She once said she feared being forgettable more than being hated. That's why, even in her quietest moments, there was always one eye open, scanning for the next thing, the next fire to walk through barefoot. Her daughters call her brave. Her critics call her complicated. Strangers still try to guess the number of surgeries, the number of husbands, the number of lies. But Demi doesn't answer. She keeps walking, heels clicking across marble, her reflection moving slightly behind her, just out of step.